Morning folks, it's first brew of the day, 5:45 in the morning. Lovely. I'm normally up about 6:30. Once I've made tuna coffee, I'm normally out, but these days I have to get up earlier. Look at the tilapia, all ready for the breakfast. It's a little bit earlier than usual. This pond's a little more quiet until you throw some pellets in. I'll feed them about 8:30, 9 o'clock. It's a little bit better to do it then because the oxygen levels are a little bit higher. Right then, what we doing up earlier then, Leigh? Well, it's the missus, lazy so-and-so. She's down. She's down, guys, and she's been down for quite some time. I don't mean upset. Well, she is upset. She's had a virus and she's still got it. She's still fighting it. And it's just knocked her off her feet. And we're coming up 4 weeks now. And I know I do pull her leg and exaggerate a bit, but she's done nothing. She's been unable to do anything apart from lay in bed. So it all started about 4 weeks ago, and we had a game of darts and a couple of beers at the end of the day. And it's probably why I beat her 4-0 at darts. She was a little bit under the weather. She just started to feel a bit iffy, and that was it. From day after that, she got worse and worse. And in the evening, she went to the clinic. It's like, get yourself down to the hospital straight away. They misdiagnosed her because it was still early days. There was no visual hint of what was going on, and so that they thought she'd got a bit of an infection, put her on antibiotics and painkillers. Then we thought she had a bit of allergic reaction to the painkillers. Switched a painkiller to one that we knew she was all right on, but it was just getting worse and worse. I went back and her whole skin had erupted, and obviously they could diagnose her correctly then. So quite a serious virus. She is on the mend. But yeah, it has knocked her for 6, and all the skin blistered up, and yeah, it's quite horrific to witness your other half like that. Oh, there's a fish in the hang on mate, get the viewfinder on, Leigh. Under the overhanging vegetation there. I don't know what that is. I was out here early yesterday morning, and what can only be described as by our friend Chris one day, because it happened while I was stood next to him. It was like someone jumping into the bath, and it was here, and it was just like someone had bombed and jumped off the side here. It was so loud. Not one of the mekongs, it's obviously something predatory. I don't think the chow prior are that big now, so maybe the gar. I don't know. A red snapper don't grow that big, I don't think. I know we've got a few wallagoos in here, but I've never ever seen them. Maybe one of them, I don't know, but it was in the middle open water. I don't know. Oh, you see the blue thing over there? Got some blue net cages and grown some baby fish. One for eating, one for the lakes. We've got some Asian red tails grown for the lake, and some bass salid, which are sort of like a medium-sized gourami. Probably you get about 4 to a pound. They're not huge, but they're not those little wild ones, and they're not those big. Well, they're not the elephant ear or the giant gourami either. We have got the giant gourami in the lake. Yeah, so what have I been doing? Well, basically I've just been working like a dog. I've missed something out. All the way back from over there, I should have pointed out, all along this road, both sides, every day I've been wheelbarrowing out the spent fodder and sweepings from underneath the goat lucina table. So there's even some Napier sticks there as well, and there's hundreds and hundreds of lucina seed in there. So the idea is, if you imagine this road all the way around the lake, is to do this all the way round. So I don't know how far. It's about 1,000 metres all the way around the lake. I think I'll come about 150 metres. Yeah, one wheelbarrow does about 3 or 4 foot. I get about 3 or 4 wheelbarrows a day. So the idea is for Lucina to grow both sides of the road all the way around the lake. So it's obviously extra food for the fish that we can cut directly here off the land. We can also use Ben Hur to collect it, because we're gonna leave in the middle of the road clear. And there's not a lot else that actually grows around here, so that's the idea. Got quite a few other things planned as well. The Napier's really going well over the other side. That was our new plantation of a year, but we just ran out of rainy season to do this bit here. There's a little bit more there, so I'm going to be strimming in there, clearing, and rather than Napier, I've been collecting thousands and thousands of moringa seeds. So I haven't given up on moringa, it's just that we've had other things to do on the land. But yeah, we're going big time moringa. We're going to really scale things up. It's just fantastic. I've been researching it quite a bit. Not obviously how to grow it, but how to use it with the goats best. I mean, it can be used as 100% fodder for goats. It is that nutrient dense, and the profile of the nutrients is enough for the goats. You know, it's got the copper, the protein and all that sort of thing, which are very important. But we've still got loads of Lucina as well, and Napier grass, and of course all the weeds as well, even the climbing weeds and things like that. So they're still going to have a balanced diet. But moringa grows a lot quicker than Lucina. We have grown a lot of Lucina, but you know, you're looking at about 1.5 years before you ideally want to start cutting that. Whereas your moringa, 60 days, you can nip the tops out, and then it'll start dividing. So that's the idea, and really increase the amount of fodder that we can give to the goats. But we are going to use a lot of land for it. Maybe look into pressing the seeds as well for moringa oil. Of course you can dry the leaves as well, but basically it's for the goats. Maybe moringa oil is something, a side offcut of that as well. Offshoot. It's early, isn't it? I don't know if the audio is picking it up, but on top of the high ground there's a red lapwing. Takata, takata. Yeah, it's I was going to say the season for them, but they're here all year round now. The amount of bird life is just, it's gone bonkers. Weather-wise, well, I would say we're in the full-on rainy season. I mean, time-wise we are, but we're not getting. Well, we are getting rain, but it's very light. It's normally a drizzle. We're getting sort of like, oh, I don't know, an hour a day, but it's, you can see it's not sodden. Normally this is all totally saturated, even though it's moon rock, we call it. It's yeah, it's not a full-on rainy season, that's for sure. So the goats have been out here for 2 weeks. We've just changed them. Hang on a minute, I can't see my viewfinder. That's it. We've just switched them over from here to the other side. So everything's pretty much chomped down. So the 2 full weeks, just in the afternoons. So we tried not to let them browse it right down to the sort of like rootstock on the grass. And oh, what's that bird? It's a weird one. Yeah, so now this will grow back. So this will have a 2-week rest now. Then we're going to bring the herd back in here, and the area that we're going to take them off, which is over the other side, over yonder. Hopefully, if the weather holds for long enough, then we're going to do some tree growing areas. So probably about 90% of it is going to be moringa, and with the odd different fruit trees dotted in there, so it's not going to be like a mono crop. We've also got loads of this eucalyptus. That's it, Leigh. Eucalyptus that's springing back into life after having it harvested last year. So this is a year's growth. And he's got his new little electric strimmer. He's off to strim in between his cassava rather than spraying. Good man. Excellent. Love him to bits, and it's not nice to see him spraying all day long with dangerous chemicals. So yeah, great. He's got himself a little electric strimmer for about 700 baht off Lazada, and yeah, he's going to get in there. Yeah, this weed is one of the few things that goats don't eat. This, and I was going to say eucalyptus, but if they haven't got enough food, they will eat eucalyptus. Certain times of the year they might just nip the top off this stuff. But before Toon was struck down with her virus, all this area had it growing as well. The goats haven't cleaned that. I've cleaned it. It's quite easy to pull out. So I normally do it after some rain, so the water's penetrated the upper layers of the soil, and then you can just pull it out. I mean, it's quite big stuff. It is hard work, but it's surprising that you can pull it all out. I pulled a load out round the lake corner here. It was taken over. You can see how woody it does get though when it gets to that size. Not even I, lads, can pull that out. Lads and lasses, it's quite substantial. That's been here a few years. We haven't had the elephant foot mushrooms come back yet. I don't know whether because we let the goats out here or not. I'm not sure, but you see all this stuff here. That's going to have to be machete. You can see in there, it's too much. I haven't been able to continue doing it, which was a shame, because every time I let the goats out, I normally stay with them for half an hour or an hour anyway, just to make sure that they can't get out, and there's no dogs potentially around to attack them again. Yeah, you can see over there, that's the bigger area. So undecided yet whether just to, hang on, viewfinder, just to develop the front edge of that, or go into the eucalyptus and into the plant in there. I'm a bit reluctant to do that because obviously the eucalyptus is quite allopathic, I think it is, so it suppresses everything around it. Not sure if moringa could hold its own against it. Maybe. It's so fast growing. No Liverpool mug at the moment. It's not football season, is it? Looking forward to the Euros actually. I haven't watched international football for quite some time. Lots of people think England are going to win. Obviously we won't. Deluded, didn't we, English people? We'll get behind the team, and hopefully the Liverpool lads will get a run out and do all right. So what I'll be doing first off, after I've turned the video off and finished my coffee, I'll go and continue clearing the goat compound. I do start in the evenings, otherwise there's not enough time in the morning. You know, obviously I want to get out and start eating, so if I'm an hour and a half clearing under the gut-in table, and then cleaning the feeders out as well for the Napier, then they're climbing up the walls. They want to get out and get the food. It's mozzie season as well. It's in full effect. Not very strong winds actually, so made it worse with the damp air and low wind speeds. They've rocked up in numbers. So on my to-do list, and this is what I've wanted to do before the rainy season, but Toon situations just put the kibosh on that, was to repair the blue mosquito net around the house. There's quite a few ingress points now, and it does need sorting. So that's another reason the goats want to get out in the morning. They've had enough. There's quite a few mozzies in there that build up throughout the evening, and I mean it's a lot better than not having it. But we no longer make little smoky fires, keep the mozzies down. It does work incredibly well how Toon did it, but after 2 lung infections, and Toon's not great with hay fever, We thought, no, it's a little bit too much of a health risk, so we don't do that any longer. So we got the 2 orange lights in there, and so with the mosquito net, when it is all back in position, that's pretty much good. The goats are quite content in there, and quite often this time of morning, if you open the gate, no one moves. They just look at you as if to say, jog on mate, we're not coming out yet. Not that you can tell hardly, but in here, after they'd had 2 weeks in there, I wanted them to get in here and make headway, and it was all that high over there down here, and they've gradually been making the way through there. But we always try and keep areas like this, one this side and one the other side of the island as well, for emergencies. So what I mean is, if something happens and the goats aren't fed as much as they should be, whether something pops up like hospitals or something like that, or emergencies with the family, or bad weather and we can't let them out for ages. When you've got stuff that's really tall like this, you can let them out for an hour. They only need an hour and a half maybe, and they'll really go to town. If they're super hungry, that's it. They won't run around much, whereas normally they're just taking a mouthful and moving on. We can get them full enough, maybe not as full as we'd like them, but we can get them full enough for the night. So yeah, and then every now and again, you know, obviously it needs a bit of keeping in check, so we just let them out here. So on the way to the letting them out down there, before I bring them out, I'll shut the gate and then we'll herd them up here. The only thing is, because we've not had a huge amount of rain, the canal isn't deep enough all the way along this end. The new bit that we had done just down here, that's more than deep enough. But they can jump across. Even little Y and Kira and Cameron and Jeff, they all take it on the jump, and they all get across. Some jump in the wrong place and go half under. I've had a few fishing sessions in here. I didn't bother recording them. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, the fishing videos, but yeah, in the main bit down here, just trying to catch some small catfish to mince up for the red tails to feed them. They're quite carnivorous, although they do eat everything. I didn't want to catch anything out of the lake, so I fished in here, and I must have had about 40 Java barbs. A sneaky pacu that I popped in here. I put a pacu in just to eat some of the vegetation. I would like a couple of grass carp in here, but I need to catch them out the other ponds. You can see there's some floating weed just down this end. But yeah, the pacu and the barbs obviously take care of the morning glory. I just saw something pecking at the morning glory down this end. But yeah, I fished over the other side there, and I started off on the pole and the rod and reel, and within a couple of minutes I realised I was going to be too busy, so I just fished the rod and line, and yeah, it was pretty much non-stop. Yeah, I think I had 3 different types of barbs, pacu, and then a couple of small catfish. So that was okay. Bamboo, look at that. The green wall. Oh, that was something I meant to say as well. So when we start planting up out the back there, and I know previously I've said maybe we're going to look at offering it up for those of you that want to get involved, for sponsoring areas to plant up with trees. So that could well still be on the cards. But the idea is round the back of the bank. So you've got the lake, and then you've got the road, the high road behind it. So imagine this on the back of it, where it meets the canal. On this side, we're going to grow bamboo. So all round the back of the lake, we're thinking of a bamboo wall. We did try to do it a few years ago, but we did it in the dry season and none of it took. As well as bamboo, on the inside of the lake, about halfway up the slope, I'm going to pop moringa all the way around as well. So goats will not be allowed out there anymore. Sounds cruel, doesn't it? They're still going to be allowed out, but it's going to be for maybe just this bit here, and a little bit round about the gate area. I've planted quite heavily some grassy areas there. And while numbers are around 59, we had a count up the other day. They all went through the gate one after the other in in perfect harmony, so it was easy to count them slowly enough. Yeah, as long as numbers don't sort of like get around about the 80 mark again, we're fine for actually feeding them. Dry season is a little bit different, but that's the thinking behind the moringa, because it's drought resistant as well. The napier is as well, in fairness, but the growth does slow down a lot. Yeah, with the additional moringa, then we can feed them in the compound all year round. So that's the idea. The other reason I've chosen moringa is the amount of carbon that it generates year upon year. It's so fast growing. It's something that we're going to use in conjunction with the biochar and the goat manure. I've been looking into carbon credits and trying to get something set up with that, but it just seems a little bit, well, it's quite a challenge trying to get a company to take on board what they consider a small project. You know, the amount of carbon that they want creating into biochar is massive. So although we do have a lot here, a hell of a lot, if you think we've got, I don't know, four or five wheelbarrows on every single palm, we've got 50 palms, we've got over 100 bamboo, they're all biochar, vegetable beds, the coconut trees, and now even when we get more than enough, I'm even laying it on the top. I know, don't bother guys saying, oh, it should be ploughed in, top few inches of the soil. This isn't soil, is it? Never has been, never will be. So the idea is putting it along here, and I go along with the wheelbarrow and me posh wellies, grinding it down, and then when we get the rains and the goats run over it, it gets spread out, and then it gets caught up in here, and a lot of it will start working its way down the bank, and we can help to build up organic matter and vegetation that way. So by the time it's all down there, it's inoculated. It's not going to steal any nutrients out of the soil. I mean, let's be honest, this soil, if I had to guess, hasn't got a lot of nutrients in it. But I've done a bigger area here. So again, this is just when we've done a huge burn and we've got more than enough. So as long as I've got enough to go underneath the get-in table, that's our deep litter system, then I'll just keep on putting it out here. Should really sell more really, but we don't push it. We get orders here and there, but as long as biochar is being created and being utilised, then it doesn't matter where it is, does it? It's in the world and it's in place, and it's helping with the greenhouse grasses. Greenhouse grasses. This is the first area that I did. The other good thing about it is when you do get heavy rain, you don't end up with 3 inches of mud on the bottom of your wellies. It's quite good. The goats, when you first put it down as well, the goats love to sort of like have a dust bath in it. I don't know, they haven't got mites or anything, but yeah. Oh, right, let's have a look. Yeah, I know, I've not drained it. Don't go on. The parakeets have been a pain in the backside. I don't know how many mangoes they've had, but I had to guess, I'd say 90% of our mangoes have been consumed by parakeets. They are beautiful. They don't have to make a racket. It's Sadao, the neem tree. Got a couple of these that have just elected to grow themselves here. The 2 big mangoes behind there, one in the fence pond and one outside here. They are huge established trees that Toon's dad grew, as well as these 2 coconut trees. This one looking a little bit worse for wear, but it's looking a little bit more perky now the And now we're not got 40 degrees every day, but this one does incredibly well with coconuts. We don't really utilise them as much as we should do. I thought all these were going to die because the year before we moved here, someone nearby that was growing sugar cane burnt off the sugar cane, and you can see these two, and certainly this tree down here, loads of trees got burnt to death. And because there wasn't sugar cane on this land, whatever was here at the time, we weren't here, it obviously burnt for long enough for the trees to proper catch fire. So there's quite a few burnt stumps around the place. You can see there's water in the canal. It was dry for about, I would say, 2 months. We did actually pump it dry, which accelerated it, but it still would have dried out for about a month, I reckon. We didn't get many mudfish out of it and many snakehead. I caught quite a few on the imitation surface frog. Yes, those lapwings. We hear that all bloody night. Yeah, if you want to come on a camping weekend, put your tent down here, you won't get much sleep. Loads of fish in there, a lot of small stuff. But we need some really big heavy rain to wash the water in from elsewhere, and all the little streams and rivers, and you get the fish out from there. Other than that, it's just what the birds bring on their feet and what's buried in the mud. So this side, it's a lot bigger pasture, and yeah, I have cleared all this, but I have to be honest, there wasn't as much. You can see the black bits there because I've only just done it. So yeah, I've only had a couple of sessions in there pulling that out, but the rest is too thick. So even for the strimmer, I think it's gonna have to be the tractor getting that in there. Yeah, parakeets over there, flipping hundreds of them. Oh, they're coming over. No flipping mangoes left, you lot. I think they go on to the mangoes because very few people are still growing corn. It's rice season now where we are. Oh, that reminds me, I've still not done it. So lazy. The blue pipe there, I want to tape up the bottom 2 slats. You know, with the predicted 3 years of drought or prolonged dry seasons, I want to hold on to the water in the lake as long as possible. So yeah, we're going to let, when we do get the heavy rains and hopefully everything tops up the levels, then that'll slow the water going out, because there's like a swivel pipe that goes out into the canal there. So we're going to let it come up really high. There's something moving down here as well. I should have brought my lure rod out, shouldn't I? Never mind. Lovely grassy area, isn't it? The goats like it because the whole herd can see each other, whereas when they go into the thick stuff they get a bit fragmented. Sometimes, you know, a little one or two will get separated from the herd and they'll start panicking. It's a bit like me if I don't see Toon for more than an hour or two. That's another thing, it's just something jumped in the canal, snakehead probably. It's been really hard with the Toon situation, not just the farm chores. I only see it for about 2 hours a day. That's not, so don't go and check on it. Just, you know, if you think me and Toon, we normally work full time every day, and she's not been able to do anything. So I mean, we're even going out and buying ready cooked food. Well, you know, like a food store around the corner near the local school. She couldn't even cook, and I had no time for cooking either. So I did cheese and onion toasty the other day. Not had one of them for years. So yeah, quite. Although Toon's only a stone's throw away in the house all the time, I miss my wife. Just we work well together, and if we're not together for very long, I get a little bit I'm a bit needy. So this is where I was saying, on the outside of here we have the bamboo growing, so near enough to the canal, because obviously the bamboo loves its water, and it'll help to suppress all these horrible bits. Anyway, although the goats won't be out here, it's still gonna be a bit of an issue. So don't know whether it might be worth getting the macro in and scraping it out by the roots, plonking it over there, and then putting the topsoil over, because this all needs raising to tree growing rows. That's the idea that I had last year. It is something that we wanted to do. I've gone quiet on it because I've just not had the dosh to do it. So yeah, if we did that while it's all cleared and we can put the bamboo in, we wouldn't have to buy the bamboo plants. We just take cuttings of our own and stick it in. Well, the actual bamboo poles, they've got roots on the bottoms of them anyway, most of them, so you just chop them off with a hatchet and dig a hole, stick it in. Yeah, goats love this bit round here, so they've mowed this down in the first, what, 3 or 4 3 days. Today's gonna be 4 days. Have to keep count because of the parasites, Leigh. So on the inside of the lake, probably 2 rows of moringa, direct sown. I have got quite a lot of seedlings on the go, probably a couple of 100 seedlings, but because their tap roots grow so quick and so deep, when you move them, the tap roots don't like being disturbed, so you're better off, generally speaking, you're better off direct sowing them. But you've got to have the ground pretty clear before you sow, otherwise the weeds will choke them out. Lovely time of day. Should be fishing, never mind. That is something I do have to admit, I have been doing a little bit of fishing, but in the tilapia pond just for our dinners. So if catch too many, which is obviously quite often because I'm so skilled at fishing, then Toon will preserve some, so she salts them and puts them with the rice, just a few bits of rice, and I think garlic, and then she pops them in the fridge for a maximum of 3 days. And I tell you what, it's the best way I've ever had tilapia. It's fantastic. So it's like salty. It's not balar, although she calls it balar, it's not balar. It's not like you use your stinky fish in your somtams. But yeah, if you leave it for more than 3 days, it goes way too salty. So we had 3 of those last night with a cucumber somtam. They say she is on the mend, so she's been cooking this last week. She's been cooking in the evenings, and hopefully won't be too long before she's back on her feet. It was her birthday recently. It was on the 5th of June, and she went for it. She didn't care, so she had a few beers and rocked the microphone on the karaoke. Apologies if some of you followed Toon on Facebook. My rendition of Frozen after about 4 pints. So, well, my mum always said my vocals were special, but it was good fun. It was a real blowout. But Toon, it knocked her for 6 the next day and probably the day after. So yeah, that side of things has had to be curbed a bit until she's back on form. Certainly no darts. She can't throw a dart, which is saying something, isn't it? She's normally thrashing through thick trunks of Lucina with a machete, and now she can't even throw a dart at a dartboard. It's quite sobering to see someone that's so active normally to be polaxed the way she has been. And she's had a few tears as well, and because obviously with the virus as well, you get an outbreak. It's bad enough for anyone, isn't it? But for a woman to get it, you know, she thought it's going to bloody leave her just because she got blisters all over her. But yeah, special woman, obviously, most of you know that. and she'll be back for sure. Hang on a minute, look who's out here. Oh, Gija? Yeah, she's gonna roll. She's getting ready to roll over. But the good thing is, she stopped pee-peeing. So although you can't see it on the camera, I am sort of like crouched down a little bit. And thanks to a couple of you that commented on a previous video, saying that although she is a very, very submissive dog, she does this to all the other dogs. But we've got 3 other dogs. And said she is scared of you. So just by, oh, she has peed. What are you doing, Gija? Oh, you let me down, girl, didn't you? Well, let's say it has made a big difference up until this one. I could have just cut that out, couldn't I? But yeah, and it's probably because I was talking to you rather using my soft dog voice to her. But at least she cleans herself up afterwards. Dirty girl. But I have to say, she's probably the most, well, she is definitely the most attentive dog we've got. Although we love them all equally, Bebo, Darwin and Spoon as well. She'll go anywhere with you. And when you call her, she'll always come. And yeah, if you're going to stroke her, she'll stay with you all day. She's a lovely girl. Oh, look at all the fish here. Why can't I drop a line in now? It's been nice to use the GoPro again. The only reason it's working is because it's so early in the morning and it hasn't got hot. I've noticed as well, because I've got a spare battery, when I put the other battery in, everything freaks out and it just stops working. So I need to, I don't know whether you can reset a battery. I know you can obviously reformat memory card, SD card, but I'm not sure about a battery. So I'll have to put that to one side and not use that, and then hopefully if I just do early morning videos, which isn't great because I don't look my best, do I? Certainly until I've had my caffeine. Hopefully we can get back to doing a few videos, but I can't promise, guys. Well, I can, but I'll probably break my promise because I still haven't done the other changes on the farm that are going to affect the farm. There's a few of the bits and bobs that I want to record as well. But it is what it is, isn't it? It's not that I don't like doing videos anymore. It's just that the farm and the wife comes first, and we certainly got our work cut out. All seems lovely and rosy, doesn't it, to a lot of people that want to live this life, and certainly lots of people have said, oh, you're living my dream, and I wish I could do that. Dreams are hard work. They are hard work, and I've always said, and I don't think I'll ever change my view on this. I might be proved to be wrong. The day it feels like a job, then I won't be doing it. Not a chance. I mean, how can you? I swear, I'm not joking, guys. I'm awake before my alarm goes off 99% of the time. It's only if we've got Mum and Chris here and we've had a few too many Leos, or Toon's got the tequila out, then yeah, I might actually hear my alarm, but I'm normally up. I'll go make the coffees, the alarm's gone off by then, pop the coffee next to Toon, and I'm into it. And I keep going till well, fit to drop, basically. And you could probably think, well, you're working yourself to death, but I've always been the sort of person that even at a young age I've been like that. So certainly when you think about when I think back about my years playing sport, you know, I think even at infant school I went jogging around the field in my dinner hour. It's a bit sad, isn't it, really? Come home from rugby training, if I didn't think the rugby training was hard enough, I'd go out and do a few miles as well. When I used to work, say, the late shift on the print trade, morning time, you get up early, go to the gym for a few hours, come home, have a sleep, go to work, come back, go out running. You know, and run till your legs nearly fall off. That's the way I've always been. I cannot sit in the hammock. Just does my Swede in. And nothing against Toon when I'm working and she's in her hammock. We're all different, aren't we? And I think that's why, one of the reasons it works so well with us. I do the work, she sits in the hammock. Nah, we all know she works just as hard as me, sometimes even harder in certain aspects. And another thing, I mean, if you didn't work that hard, how would you keep on top of this? I know a lot of you people have said, that sound very nice, a lot of you guys have said, why don't you just get some help in? We do when we can, but it's generally for the projects, one of which is ongoing at the moment, but it is super secret. And you look at it here, so you know, with the situation with well, I was going to say the goats, but the livestock situation in Thailand, and we won't give up, not just yet. You know, there's very, very little financial gain from it, if anything. A lot of farmers have given up, and a lot of them are just trying to hold on, you know, not selling the animals. So it's very, very hard to get other people to come and work for you and keep your head above water. So I've got a handle on not panicking when things grow like this. It's just goat food, isn't it? Just goat food. So about half of my bananas, perhaps a little bit more, survived, just about. So 6 months. They got put in a month before the end of the last rainy season. They had 6 months of next to no rain, and a lot of them have survived, but I need to get the climbing weed off them. We lost a few bamboos the other day. We had some really high winds and a few of them crashed down here, but waste not, want not. Went and hacked them and threw them to the goats, and the goats ate all the leaves, so they got a... Now I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Selenium, I think, is the way as Brits pronounce it. If Americans, it's selenium, but whatever, they like it, and it's very good for them. But I've still got one more to get there. You can imagine, I mean, I don't know, look at the height of that palm, and the bamboo dwarfs it. The shoots have just started to get going now. This one I still need to hack off. So you'll see that the growth is probably the leaves, the foliage is just the top half. So we'll use the poles for something else. So once they've cleaned it all off, this is the thing, I've always not particularly liked harvesting bamboo poles because of these bits. So the goats will nibble them down to about there. It's so hard, but they do like it. And then it's a lot easier to handle, and bamboo makes some of the best biochar in the world. So this is earmarked for that. And there's I know some of you asked for bamboo updates now and again. Toon came in here the other day. She fancied eating bamboo, and my viewfinder keeps going off. I need to go into settings and see if I can keep it going. Yeah, she said there's a few new shoots coming, but we're well behind schedule on maintaining a bamboo forest. So, you know, the old ones need to come out, and also these are like half. They're going over. I want to get them out as well. Hey, look, that's even worse, that one. This will show you what I mean, hopefully, about the roots for growing them. So you see that one's gone over, there's all roots there. So just get a machete, chop it off, leave it about a foot long, stick it in, and it'll grow. Even these knuckle bits, I'll try and find one. Lovely and cool in here. Oh, we've got a lot that have fallen down. A lot. Oh, looks like we've lost one here. Oh no, still got some growth there. That's all right then. I can't see an example of the one I wanted to show you. Never mind. It's normally the lower down. Yeah. So you get a knuckle and a bit growing, and then there's some roots there, so you just slide the machete along the shaft of the pole and pin it in. Well, I can't see any new shoots, Toon, but it wouldn't surprise me because we've just not had enough rain yet, and this is probably the way it's going to be for the next 3 years, so I reckon. Big one there. Weird, isn't it? The biggest clump we've got out of all of them. Got a termite mound there. A lot of people just get rid of the termite mounds. Oh, that is dead. That is dead. Termites will have that now. Ah, no mushrooms yet. No mushrooms. It's another thing if you don't get the rains. I'm not sure if I could get anything to grow in the middle here. I did throw my what you call it, leukemia seed here, there and everywhere, but only some of it's taken. More sort of like towards the outside. But this is the idea of putting it around the lake and keep the sides of the lake clear on the outside, the outer side of it. Yeah, it's great at suppressing weedy growth. That's why I want it round the outer side of the lake. It's just totally sustainable. Not had enough coffee yet, have I? I've normally had 2 by now. Probably should cut down, but I'm on 3 a day at the moment. Till we get this Toon situation sorted. Look at this view though. I love this. Can't wait for the canopy to go over the road. It's just going to look incredible. Even the palm trees are totally organic. That's probably why some of them haven't grown very well. They did get knocked back considerably the first year we went organic. So, it was a bit of a free-for-all for all the bugs. But they're coping well. Still lose the odd bit of growth. We haven't lost any trees apart from the one that are trimmed off the top. So I think that's pretty good going, considering we're the only area that promotes bugs and pests on the farms. Special times. These are golden times, and something that is easily overlooked when you're working your farm. It's actually have a walk round and not do any work for a little while. Not too long. Right, let's go back this way. Been out with the strimmer. Our old strimmer. I know a few of you said don't get a 2-stroke. The engine still works, but it's the head on it. And we could have bought a replacement head, and it was like, oh, hang on a minute, we're now spending more on it than it's bloody cost. So we bit the bullet, and I've gone back to a Honda. I should have, flipping new I should have anyway, but never mind, we're trying to save a few baht, but false economy. So I trimmed here and down here yesterday. So although we're not getting a huge amount of rain, it's enough for the grass and the weeds to come back. So this gave 8 baskets of fodder for the goats, which was a nice. I like giving them trimmings because it's like a mixed salad for them, and the bits that they don't like they'll just bin off anyway. I did have all this trimmed in the dry season. I kept on saying to Tail, I said, we need the strimmer fixing, need the strimmer fixing. In the air it's just like, just can't keep him being without the strimmer. So there's a few old roof sheets that are left here. We got quite lucky. The guy that came and replaced the roof for us, he wanted some roof sheets, so 2/3 of the roof sheets that came off, which are quite rusty, he bought offers, so that brought the price down nicely for what we had to fork out for the new roof. We were talking about it last night. You see what happens when you got no goats in there. It's so fertile now. But everything needs sorting. So this is the old house for the bucklings. We've currently got 6 bucklings, and 5 of them are just about ready to come over. So it's finally it's started to go on the piss a bit. It's gonna have to come down, or we can try and just shore it up, take the flooring out, and then just we've got some bamboo, little bamboo tables where they're just sort of like, they're like little pallets that we've had made. So we might just do like a picket fence inside, rework the blue netting again, and yeah, and have the like 2 or 3 pallets in here. They're about 3 meters square. That's enough just to get the boys off the ground. So what's this? Nearly 4 years this has been up in its various forms, and it's still the original posts. Amazing. So many people said, "Oh, it won't last," and the idea with this, some of you won't know, but back then we said this is like the intermediate goat house while the numbers increasing, and we were getting Goat Island created.